Well, hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Hi, my name is Emerald Hill. This is my new series, Ice Cream and Mean. I'm working on the title, but this is where I have my nightly Ninja Creamy. Tonight we have chocolate and banana. I'll show the recipe here. It is something that I have not tasted yet. Let's have a taste. Oh my god. I know you're so jealous, but you can't have any. It's just so delicious and amazing. You could have some if you made it at home. Recipe in the description box below. This is so freaking good. I'm excited to have it with you while I am reviewing the creatine pimp himself, Greg Doucette, everybody. Wow, incredible. Yeah.
Coach Greg, in today's video, we're going over what are they eating as fatties?
Everything I ate today as a fatty.
Before we get into this, let me remind you she has over 300,000 big reasons not to lose weight. They're called followers.
Greg has already made a really good point. It's fair to say a really enticing aspect of keeping going and gaining weight or just continuing to not eat healthy or actually showing and showcasing how unhealthy you eat is the fact that there are viewers paying attention and tuning into you while you're doing that and potentially making money.
Over 300,000 morons, including you, right? You follow this girl.
Yeah.
Like, why do you want to see what fatties eat so that you can see what you shouldn't eat yourself? Is that why you're watching her? Are you watching the train wreck? Why exactly are you watching a morbidly obese woman eat herself to death? Are you sadistic? Is that what?
Well, that's a really good question, and that's really interesting that his own girlfriend actually is a follower and watches her. So technically somebody close to him is a supporter of this person who to him is self-destructing, right? So it is really good to see. And what is her answer when she replies to, why are you following this person?
What's going on? People...
It's like it turns me off from food. Like, kind of, if you know.
I mean, as soon as I watch that, I go soft, and so...
That's not what I mean.
Harder than last time.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Wow. And when I say cool, like, wow, let's cool off for a sec. That's a really interesting way to plug your... What is it?
You're going to need a double dose of this. 8 pills I'm going to take today.
Wow, so he has a get hard drug that he can sell to people. Very interesting. Let's backtrack a little bit. So she said, I actually follow this person because it stops me from eating. Something that motivates me to not eat. And what he's saying is that it makes him he's not sexually aroused by the fact that this person is eating a lot. So that's an important piece of information. It's really interesting how we've had 2 people now kind of comment on how they're personally attracted or unattracted to people on the internet.
Because imagine trying to get freaky after watching this. People gorging themselves overweight and not giving 2 shits about doing cardio or eating healthy.
That's a really interesting point, Greg. Exactly what instance are you watching this and immediately turning to your loved one and saying, are you laying in bed and watching TikTok reels of this person eating food? I don't think so. I think that generally this comes on during your lunch break or something like that. Or like this person said, you kind of have to go out of your way to find it. Is that the reason why you watch TikTok? Is to as some kind of foreplay?
And just thinking it's cool. But remember, they have hundreds of thousands of reasons to do this. They're making money. Is it worth the money when you're going to die?
They're making money. They have to be making money at this point. They've got enough followers. And that's a very enticing reason to keep going, is making money and having people supporting you.
Let's just watch what she eats.
We're starting out the day with some breakfast.
Yeah, of course we start off our day with breakfast, but the problem is, what is that big brown thing you're putting into your mouth?
That's the one thing about this community. Will Tennyson, Greg Doucette, Dr. Mike Israetel revolve around sex jokes. It's very interesting. They like to make those innuendos to each other all of the time. It's very interesting. A little obsessive, one might say. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes there. Or Creatine Island.
And so she shouldn't eat the donut. You might be thinking, yeah, but no foods are off limit. Yeah, donuts for her, they're off limit, especially for breakfast. You don't eat this.
I think that donuts in general are very terrible for breakfast. Obviously, it is just a sugar punch to the face. There's no real nutritional value to donuts whatsoever. It really is just an end of the day treat. And he's right, you have to pay attention to what your day looks like. Generally, not a lot of people can have a super big sugar spike and be able to handle that fluctuation throughout the day. It's very very stressful to kind of handle everything that you have going on, and also, oh, I have to be on a diet, and oh, I really am craving sugar. And when you've already have the habit of going out and just getting whatever you want, it's not good to keep playing into what is going to support that and keep making that happen.
I had to get some protein in for breakfast.
I mean, I think it's acceptable to have the fried chicken. I mean, it could be better. Go easier on the sauce. Those calories, they quickly add up.
And hey, that's something that you can't fault him for. He's right. It's really not good to have a giant donut for breakfast and then follow that with a fried chicken breast, okay? But he actually gave it a bit of a stamp of approval, kind of like a half stamp of approval. Hey, it's at least protein. It's covered in bread, it's fried, so there's a lot of grease to it. The only good thing about it is that there is some protein in it, but it is mostly just bread and grease.
It's all about portion control. You can't eat a massive donut and a massive fried chicken with a massive amount of sauce and not think you're going to eat too many calories.
And a big glass of milk.
I mean, honestly, all I saw there was the crust, the fat part. I didn't see a whole lot of chicken. Why don't we just eat some chicken? Perhaps at the end you could have some protein anabolic donuts from my cookbook. Did you know that there's a bunch?
Wow, we are 2 minutes and 23 seconds into this video, and this is the second time that he's plugged one of his products, so that's amazing. I wonder how many people have actually purchased the ultimate anabolic cookbook. I mean, there's so many different anabolic recipes that are online, but I guess if it's all in one place and he's explaining it, I guess, you know, why not make a cookbook about it? You have to admire, like, at least he's very proud of himself, and that's something you have to admire that.
Protein donut recipes, and they do in fact taste exquisite, so why not go with that? And what about...
My God, I think Greg Doucette really thinks everybody and their mother wants to see his cream. I'm not a fan of the Boston cream donut, and to be honest with you, I'm not really a fan of cream-filled donuts. I don't know. That's just not my dessert, but he's obviously placating to her, and that is her favorite dessert, and that's really great. Everything that are in these videos that everybody eats is takeout food, or things that take 3 minutes to put together, or however long it takes to throw it in the oven and take it out of the oven. That does look really good. I'm not gonna say that it looks bad. It's just... that to me looks like it would take a while to make, and I don't think a lot of these people want to learn how to make stuff like that. I do, because I really like cooking, but just learning more and more that everybody actually hates cooking. The act of cooking, washing up, any of it, they hate it.
For something to drink.
We got Dutch Bros.
It's a red drink. It's not diet. You gotta have none of that.
Sure, a shit ton of sugar in that. Like,
Yeah, they're right. It's probably even more than a can of Coke. There's really no point in drinking stuff like that. It's just a red drink. They're right.
This fatty, all she needs to do to become a baddie, rather than being a fatty, is reduce the calories in her diet. I mean,
I know that is shocking when he says this fatty, but you have to remember... she does put on her videos, every single one, what a fatty eats in a day. So you have to admire the game, right? He's just doing the clickbait stuff, and that's really awesome. That's what gets the views. That's why he has 2.4 million subscribers, because he's just, you know, saying stuff that's really entertaining and grabbing. Oh my God. Every time he says the word fatty, we're gonna have a little ice cream break. The banana elevates this ice cream to the next freaking level. So freaking good.
probably actually would be hot. If she lost 190 pounds, she'd probably be attractive.
Wow, that's a weird thing to say. She'd actually probably be hot. Well, you know, that is a different way to say she's attractive. You know what I mean? Like, on some level, at least he's saying that she is attractive, so that's nice. I don't think that it's necessary. Like, it's not, and I'm saying this for myself, it is not enough of a motivator to say to someone, you have a pretty face, you'd be so hot if you lost weight. It is not a motivator, I'm sorry, because women are just gorgeous, okay? We all know that we would be hot, blah, 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 if we did blah, blah, blah. But guess what? Women also know that we're more than that. We're more complex than that. And that's why it's not enough of a motivator. If that's all we wanted, that would be the motivator. But it's not all we want. It's not all that affects our lives. And that's why it's just not enough to get us going in it. You know, there has to be a different thing, the purpose behind it. You know, not to say that Greg doesn't believe in that. I've watched a couple of his videos. He's very into improve your life, have flexibility and fitness and quality of life, and that's very important. But obviously, again, clickbaity comment, right? She would be hot if she lost weight. That's why he has 2.4 million more subscribers than I do.
I feel like she has potential.
Most people are attractive if they're not fat.
That's a good point. All you have to do if you're a female is not be fat and you're kind of good looking. Like, you could get a man. It's not that hard. It's not that deep.
Honestly, most people are good looking if they're not at their healthy weight.
Yeah, like
At their
if you
healthy weight, like
get lean enough.
At least that's kind of like a compliment coming from people who obviously put a lot of effort into their aesthetic. If you're just at least healthy, if you're just at least at a healthy weight, you don't have to be a Victoria's Secret model. You don't have to be a super athlete. You just have to be somewhere around your healthy weight, and that's attractive. At least that's a little beacon of hope, isn't it?
You can see some bones. You look smacks a little bit. You're going to be kind of all right.
yeah, decent, like yeah.
Decent. So just don't be fat. And so when you watch this girl,
Wow, geez, just don't be fat. This is something that may be appealing to people who have lost a bit of weight, but are kind of struggling with not being shredded or not being super muscly or not looking incredibly athletic. There is that feeling of, well, I'm not good enough and I'll never get there. You know, even though I've come all this way, I'm never going to be able to be attractive to anyone, even though you said to yourself, all I have to do is be under 200 pounds and then I'll be happy, right? This is kind of coming from a personal place. I felt these feelings before. I'll never look attractive enough. I'll never be enough. You can look at it like, oh, wow, you know, oh, there's hope. This bodybuilder is saying that I don't have to be a bodybuilder and I don't have to be super thin. I don't have to be a Victoria's Secret model to be attractive and to find someone. But at the same time, I don't think that it's necessary to be like, hey, you would be hot if you lost a bunch of weight, because we all have that aunt already. We do not need a Greg Doucette side seat driver.
understand that this is proof. She's caught in 4K of exactly why she's gaining weight. It's not because of the obesity gene. Remember Oprah Winfrey? She tried to convince us that, hey, obesity, it makes you fat.
There's so many different ways that people are finding, like, let's blame the fast food industry, bad education generationally about food. Or is it genetic? Is it something that you're predispositioned to, the obesity gene? I think that it is time to take Oprah and give her the same treatment that Dr. Oz got. Like, how has that not happened yet? Are we still taking Oprah seriously? I've tried Weight Watchers before.
The fact that you're eating all this shit, it's obesity. And so you have no excuses. If she had Diet Pop and some normal chicken that wasn't deep fried and had a smaller donut, she would lose weight.
That is so inspiring, right? If she had a smaller piece of chicken, if she had a smaller piece of donut, she could lose weight. Isn't that great? I find that that is really motivating to hear from people like this. Like, sometimes I just watch other people's stuff, and then when they say something mean, I just completely forget about that they ever said it. And I just pick up the stuff that is like, oh, this means something to me that I can actually use in my real life. I can't use, I would be hotter if I lost weight. That's subjective, whatever. But I can use, oh, I can still have the donut. I just have to keep in mind, have like a couple of bites, and that's it, right? That's what's working for me. That's what we're going with.
Hey, let's not eat the whole pizza. Cauliflower pizza, it's still pizza. You didn't need lunch. You ate enough for the entire day at breakfast.
That's very true. That was a very calorie-heavy breakfast. That's true as well about the cauliflower pizza. You have to start to keep in mind that just because it's the healthier version doesn't mean that it is calorie less. And just because it's calorie less doesn't mean that you should be eating the entire thing or double that. That's something that I really fell into and still fall into sometimes. Like, oh, just because it is half the amount of calories, I can eat 2 of them. But now I've just axed the whole purpose of why I was eating that in the first place. And now we get another red drink that he gets to poop on.
Ice cream tea with peach and raspberry.
Why are we drinking sugar calories? Like, just drink the diet version. Like, if she did no change whatsoever, and instead of having the sugar-laden drinks, she had non-nutritive sweeteners like aspartame and Splendas. You know what I'm talking about. If she had the Diet Pepsis, she'd probably lose 50 pounds. She would make no change. She would still eat like a piece of shit. She would still eat like an asshole. But rather than having the sugar calories from the drinks, she would drink.
That's what I'm saying. Just cut back a little bit. Keep eating the way that you're eating, but then change everything that you're drinking and make it the sugar-free version. And then slowly look at what you're eating and say, okay, so maybe I don't need that big of a piece of chicken. I can have half of that piece of chicken and then the other half tomorrow. Or maybe that half for lunch later. And then half of the donut. And you're slowly ebbing away and making those changes. That's what he's saying, and that's awesome. I think that it's kind of funny that he's calling her an asshole. I don't think it's necessary, but there we go. Another clickbait reason. But there you go.
Water and Diet Pepsi and Gatorade Diet Zero, whatever.
Oh, he just mentioned all of my favorite drinks. Gatorade Zero, Diet Pepsi. Keep it coming.
She would lose probably 50 freaking pounds. Probably a pound a week. 50 pounds in a year. That's how easy it is.
For dinner.
I remember how easy it was at that weight to lose weight. Oh, I remember it didn't take like 4 weeks to lose 3 pounds. It was just like 4 weeks and I was 20 pounds down. It was awesome. That weight, when you go on the diet and you're eating as you should, it's like, it makes sense. But if I lost 20 pounds now, something got cut off. Something got lost along the way.
Dinner, we're eating a burger bowl.
The first thing that made sense, a burger bowl. This is lowering calories. She's removed the bun.
I would have that.
I mean, I would eat 3 of those, but we could eat that and the bun. You lost 4 pounds last night because you rode in a bike race. And so if you race...
Wow! I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. I mean, he seems pretty fine with it and he's the expert, but wow. Well, yeah, exactly what he's saying. That's something that makes sense. That's a really good meal. I love burger bowls. I do love using iceberg lettuce to wrap it all up together. And iceberg lettuce is so amazing because it has such a great crunch to it. So good. I wish I got back onto my spin bike. I am just neglecting my cardio. It is very, very sad. I am a hypocrite watching this.
Bikes, you do a lot of cardio. You basically eat whatever you want. We went out, had pizza, I had gnocchi, and we're getting up and we're losing weight. Why? Cardio. Like, I bet I eat more calories in a day than this woman.
That's a really great point, right? They're both very competitive. They're both very athletic, and they can go and eat whatever they want, as if they aren't considerate and mindful of what they're putting in their bodies. They didn't just get pizza from Pizza down the street, plus like a panzerotti for the side, or, you know, breadsticks and stuff. I'm betting you they went to a nice restaurant and they split a pizza, or they had a nice pizza east and then they had gnocchi, which is not like an entire package of gnocchi. It's like, you know, a handful with some sauce. There's a big difference here, okay? There's a big difference. I want to see your 190 a day video, Greg. That's what I want to review.
But I probably eat more than her, but I burn it off. That's the difference. Why does she wear that nose ring thing? What is that doing?
Okay, come on. Now we're just nitpicking.
Is that to bring the attention away from the 400-pound gunt? So like,
oh my god, oh my god.
You see that and you eyes up here. Don't look at the...
Yeah. I mean, she has a septum ring right here. Like, everybody have their eyes over here. Not everybody have their eyes over here, or over here, over here, over here. Where are we supposed to be looking at, Greg?
Don't look at the gun. Eyes up here.
Or that. What's that? Eyes up here. Eyes up here. Oh my god, what does she have in there? As I present my enormous gold watch to you.
This is what really mesmerizes me a little bit. She's wearing an Oura ring. So she's so hardcore into tracking her...
She's also wearing an engagement ring. Congratulations.
Core into tracking her sleep and her resting heart rate and her REM sleep score and all this bullshit that you don't need to know. but she won't track her calories. There's the low-hanging fruit and the high-hanging fruit. Like, it's way up there. The Oura Ring is so...
Well, look, another thing that's completely not distracting us from what you're saying. Where's the gunt that you're trying to hide, Greg?
I can't reach it. I know I'm a 5'6" manlet, but even with my stepladder, I can't reach how useless it is to track your sleep REM cycle with an Oura Ring.
Ooh, I can't. I don't know.
Ring in the trash, and you track your calories. Like, if she traded in her ring for my cookbook, she would lose 100 pounds, and she would be happy. Happy as a fat...
Maybe there is a purpose behind her tracking her sleep schedule and all of that. I gotta say, though, I do agree. I find that when I was at my biggest, I was kind of doing everything but looking at what I was eating. I even wrapped myself in, I covered myself in lotion and then wrapped my whole body in cellophane so that I would sweat out all of my fat overnight because Pinterest told me to. That did nothing. So I don't know, like, I mean, the Oura Ring is a lot more beneficial in some ways than wrapping yourself in cellophane? It is a really good question. Is that really doing anything?
He is a fat kid eating cake until that fat kid grows up and realizes that it was a big mistake and they lost 20 years from their life and they're having a heart attack and life sucks.
I don't know. This is talking about me.
Zero sugar cranberry to end the night.
Finally, the zero sugar cranberry. Why isn't she having more of that?
I know, because the zero sugar cranberry pop is mwah.
You are so beautiful. Why do you do this to yourself? I mean, I like that as a comment. Why do you do this to yourself? Well, she has 300,000 reasons, and she's getting a bunch of DMs saying, hey, you're beautiful. She's getting attention, and she's kind of infamous. She's famous for doing something wrong, and so whether she's getting positive or negative attention is still attention. Do you guys grow up knowing this? Like, as school teachers, we'd have some students in the room, and they would do bad things, and some would do good things. And honestly, they didn't care. They just wanted attention. Perhaps they weren't getting attention at home. And so sometimes a kid will act up. They're acting up, they're talking when they shouldn't, and all they want is a teacher to say...
And that's a really great point, like, why are you doing this? But there has to be a reason behind it, just like those kids that you're mentioning. Oh, they're not getting enough attention at home, and that's why they're acting up. But the truth is that when you start to talk to the kids later in life, they have issues that continue into that, and they continue to act out. And then you have to teach them the skills to get over those things or to be able to cope with those things. The issue still remains that they don't have the coping skills to be able to properly communicate what their needs are. So that's why they're acting out and running around and screaming or throwing stuff, because they don't have the skills to be able to communicate. I'm really lonely and I don't have any friends and I really feel neglected, right? Just like, how is a kid supposed to be able to say, hey, I need structure and I need rules and I need my parents to discipline me so that I know that they actually care about my safety and they want me to grow up to be a person that functions in society? How is a little kid supposed to be able to articulate that other than throwing things around the classroom, right? And so when you're looking at this person and they're eating and you're saying to yourself, you're so beautiful, why are you doing this to yourself? Yeah, you can say, yeah, shut up and stop doing that. Or you can say, hey, this person obviously doesn't have the correct skills to be able to deal with whatever it is they're dealing with through eating. Bam.
Teacher to say, shut up, Jimmy. All the student wants me to say is say, ferme ta gueule, little Johnny. Stevarti. Ça va rentrer. Arrête ça. Tais-toi. Ferme ta gueule.
And now, that's also a really fair point. In that classroom, what the kid wants is for the teacher to acknowledge them, but with negative attention, shut up, Jimmy. And then he's going into all the French or whatever explanation of that. In a way, it's parenting. And that's what, people have to kind of come to accept is when they're on a diet and when they're fighting these habits and these learned behaviors, they're actually learning to parent themselves. And parenting yourself doesn't always have to look like, shut up, Jimmy. A lot of the time, it looks like sitting yourself down, acknowledging all of the I know this is so patronizing, all of the big feelings you're feeling right now, and going through the process of figuring it out. Why are you feeling that way? Why did those feelings come up for you? Why did you feel the need to act out the way that you did? And what is the resolution that we can come to? And what are you going to do now that is going to make things better. Just like when you're watching Super Nanny and it's like, hey, that behavior isn't okay. You're going to sit in the corner and you're going to relax until you're ready for us to talk about it. Now we're going to go through why that behavior is wrong, why you decided to act out that way, and how things are going to go moving forward. And then we get a big hug and then I love you and a kiss on the cheek, and then they get to go on their way. That is the appropriate way to parent. And then give them a good kiss on the cheek. Yes.
Dig it.
Not sure what you meant by that.
Fermentation! Alexa, if I have to talk to you one more time, principal's office.
I
Alexa,
hear you're having a tough day.
shut up!
It's okay, Alexa. We're with you. We don't know what he's talking about either.
What I would do sometimes is I would have to ignore said person. Ignore them because they were craving me saying fermentation. And so sometimes people do something for negative attention. So she's doing this on purpose, knowing fatties probably shouldn't be eating all this fatty food, but yet she posts it because she's getting so much attention.
Well, now that's the other way to respond to that, to ignore the negative attention seeking. Perhaps force that person to say, oh, this isn't working. What do I have to do to change my behavior to make something else work? If you ignore them, they might actually say to themselves, maybe I actually have to say what the actual issue is. Perhaps it may be cause for reflection.
So much attention, hundreds of thousands of followers. And so she's motivated to keep going. What you would think would motivate her more would be to lose the weight and be healthy and to live longer. But people, they don't see the future. They don't listen to Coach Greg until it's too late. And so there lies the problem. Let's watch what fatty number 2 eats in a day.
Fatty, we got a fatty. This ice cream is only working as a purpose now to make me colder from the inside out. So we might have to take a break from that.
Fatty number 2 eats in a day. She wants to offer a warning, a trigger warning, in case this is happening. Let us see.
It has come to my attention that there's multiple brands that are using my face to promote their products, and I just want to say right now, I do not give you authorization.
No one is using this to sell products. It's not happening. Unless they want to go bankrupt, and last I checked, most companies, they want to make money.
I don't know, Greg. I saw kind of a disturbing AI ad. It was literally an AI ad. But anyway, this woman who was a larger woman standing at the stove cooking, and then this guy comes up behind her and he grabs like a fold off of her bag like it was a tit and like handled it. I don't know how to explain it to you without coming off like a pervert, but he was handling it like a tit. And I know that you're saying that who would use this face to sell anything, but there is some wild stuff happening out there, Greg.
If you see Coach Greg advertised on Facebook and so on, I'm sure you've seen it, promoting BPC 157, some oral version. It's AI, and they spliced me doing an interview with Transcend where I was talking about injectable peptides, and they used me to sell these products. Why do I know this? Because I go to the gym, and every second day somebody says, oh, you're the BPC guy. You're selling these oral PPC on Facebook. I'm like, no, that's not me. It's AI. And so remember, unless it's with Algo RX, it's not actually me. I'm a part owner of Algo RX. You can go there. You can get your enclomiphene, your tadalafil, your Cialis, the Viagras, NAD, glutathione, pep.
See what I mean when I said the creatine pimp? Oh my God. How did he do it? How did he find a way to be like, how did somebody use you for an ad? Anyway, they do that to me all of the time. Like, and go to my website that's real and buy my shit. Incredible. Just marketing fiend. Wow.
Peptides, whatever you're looking for, perhaps you're trying to lose weight, the peptides, GLPs, all that kind of stuff, you go there, code Greg, 10% off. Let's get back to the video.
The company needs to steal content from another creator to fake a promotion.
She's talking like this, bird hands. This is a woman, as soon as you see bird hands.
Okay, so now we've had a different title for this hand. We have the Claw of Redemption, and now we have bird hands. I can see bird hand.
You walk away.
What I eat in a day as a fat girl.
I'm always starting with my Diet Coke.
All right, this is great. She starts with a Diet Coke. I mean, there's no calories. It's got some caffeine, probably going to reduce her cravings. And so we're off to a great start.
Had a, looks like a fried platter. Got like chicken tender chicken tenders, Asian plum wings, mozzarella sticks, onion rings, and fries.
I remember the days of the platter. Anyway.
Family-size fried platter for breakfast is not ideal. It's for a family. I mean, you're the size of a complete family, but this is too much.
I remember those were things that people would say to me when I was in elementary school. You know, you're 4 people put together, you're the size of a complete family. And you know what? It's so hard to realize that the amount of calories that is in that plate is for a family. And it sucks because it's easy for one person to eat all of that, even if you're not her size. Like, if you're just a guy, you can eat all of that. Oh my God, like, you're literally just saying, I probably eat more than her just a couple of seconds ago. I bet you, Greg, if you had a bike ride or whatever, you just strolled in there, you could devour that in 10 seconds, just like I could.
Why is it that some of my videos get demonetized for talking about how to lose weight and to be healthy, but yet you're allowed to show this shit? What is this to do? It promotes people to binge eat. How is this allowed? How are you allowed to do mukbang videos?
So that's a really interesting point. How is it that in one frame, somebody could never use that face to promote something, and then in another frame, he's saying this is actually promoting binge eating, and motivating people to do exactly what she's doing, and then therefore probably look exactly the way she looks. So how is it possible that she is promoting doing that when who would use that face to promote anything, right? Well, which is it?
A healthy lifestyle, 150 minutes cardio, fork down, going to the gym, training, all that stuff.
So good. And our waitress is so sweet. I might have to ask her for a soup.
Of course, the waitress is sweet. She's being paid a ridiculous amount of tips to walk over and bring your fried platter and say something nice like, enjoy, fatty, I mean baddie.
I feel like the waitress called her a baddie, so then she's like, oh my gosh, she's so sweet.
She's so sweet. And you're going to tip her, what, 20%?
She never said that. They just said that she was sweet. What? That could mean anything. That could mean, like, blah, blah, blah. You know, she was just bubbly. Or maybe she was really young. You know, you get a server that's like, hey, do you want a refill on your Diet Coke? You ever get one of those? Yeah, whatever is less terrifying for you. And by the way, I'm not making any sudden movements. I'm just grabbing my payment card. We have to take American Express! You know what I mean? Have you ever had one of those people where it's just like everything is terrifying to them? Maybe that's what she meant. Jeez, like, she's not being paid an enormous amount of money
For bringing over a plate of fries when nurses make less money than you? Think of how much money you're paying a server to just bring over a plate of fries.
I don't see. Okay, so it is really sad that nurses don't make a lot of money, but why? How is that the server's fault?
How many tips do you get, Mepsigram, when you like cure people's eyesights and stuff? How often do you get 20% tips? Not even once?
No.
And how many eyes have you done? 14,000?
More, yeah.
So 14,000, no tips.
Greg, you don't need to be an eye doctor to see gratuities included in that bill. And to be fair, if there was someone to teach nurses how to sling a syringe and put out for tips at the same time, it would be you, Greg. I'm one thing away from giving you my SIN number. And it's that other titty. Pop it out for us, would you, Greg?
No tips.
We have a Italian sausage flatbread. Look how good that is. God, it's hefty. A blackened chicken bacon ranch.
No, there's no way. She's eating more than the family platter.
The family platter was just the appetizer.
That was just the start. That brought it into the day. I'm surprised that she can eat that many calories despite being that weight. Like,
Guys, come on. She's with someone. I think she's sharing the plate. Everybody loves taking home food. So, you know, maybe she is promoting that she ate all of that and it's just rage bait, but I mean, like, it's pretty common to take stuff home and eat it later. I don't know.
any one of these meals is more than she needs to eat, probably for the day. And so one thing I'm going to say with near certainty is that she did not eat all the food that we watched at that breakfast. I think she's playing on the fact that she's a fatty and she wants people to make...
Ooh, even though I'm freezing, I am going to take another bite.
fun of her. She wants a Coach Greg video kind of like this. She's hoping to go viral from...
I want a Coach Greg video. Kind of like this. That's fine. Anything. Even a reel. I'm just kidding. Don't look at me.
There's no way I believe that she ate all I saw there. I couldn't eat that much. I certainly think I can eat more than her. Many of you are just going to watch this video and think, yeah, guaranteed that's what she eats, because look at her. You don't need to eat that many extra calories in order to quickly become overweight. If you eat 500 extra calories, a surplus from what you're supposed to eat, so let's say your BMR is 2,000 and you're eating 2,500 a day, that's not that much food, 2,500. That's 500 extra calories. You could gain about 1 pound of fat a week. It's about 50 pounds of fat in a year. By just eating in a small surplus over years, like 10 years, 100, 200 calories extra per day, not way more, not eating the entire platter of chicken, burgers, fries, and so on, you're slowly going to gain a lot of weight, and you might not.
Or just not moving as much as you used to, right? Like you used to work a job where you're walking up a lot of steps all the time, and now you're working a job where you're just sitting at a desk all the time. You don't have any idea of how much it actually impacts you until you start doing something else, and then all of a sudden, boom, yeah, 50 pounds up.
Might not eat that much. I believe that for breakfast, it added up to more than 6,000 calories, and I don't believe that she ate all that food. I don't know how she got 163,000 followers, and it says a blogger, it says sweet treats and hot girl eats. See, the problem is, I don't understand this kind of clickbait, like hot girl eats. I'm scrolling and I don't see one.
Rude and not nice.
I guess it could be clickbait that she's basically always sweating from eating so many calories, and so she's a very hot girl, as in temperature-wise. Mucho caliente.
So I came to Costco for this, and I ended up with this.
I think overnight oats kind of suck. I think that they are really just drinkable carbohydrates that are posing as protein. Prove me wrong in the comments. I'm not really a fan of the overnight oats. I am a big fan of the hot dog though.
I mean, she went to Costco to get high protein snacks, ended up with a foot-long sausage in her mouth.
As we all do. We all end up with a foot-long sausage in the parking lot at Costco at one time or another.
To shake them up, so I just poured the sauce on top.
I've had enough.
Too big of a fan of sauce mixing with sauce mixing with sauce. It's just like too saucy and egregious for me, so I can see why he turned off the video. But we did have a pretty big day there, and chicken wings twice in one day. Wow, both very saucy chicken wings. That is something.
Why are we watching this? Why am I even doing a video on this? Why are you watching this? This is what you need to know. These women should be on GLP Max. Reduce your appetite by 28% and you eat less. I don't even think they actually would need it if they just made healthier choices. If they got my cookbook, ate from it a couple of times, even per week, they'd probably lose some weight. Stop drinking the sugary drinks, just drink diet. And if that is not enough, obviously you would have to do cardio and all these things to help even more. But if it's not enough, you can go to Algorex, try to get some GLPs.
I love how he's like, it's obvious. The answer is right here. Just buy my stuff, or just buy my stuff, or at least buy some of my stuff. Like, incredible. Oh my God.
It's going to reduce your cravings, the food noise, make it even easier, as if it's not already easy to lose weight. It's excessively easy to lose weight. It's hard to get shredded. Like, I don't think these two ladies are going to walk around at like 130 pounds, but they definitely could lose 30.
Well, that's good to know. That's kind of healing for me to hear that 130 pounds is shredded. Actually, thank you for that, Greg.
And so why not try? With every 20 pounds of body weight, you're going to certainly see a reduced blood pressure, improved health markers. And so I encourage them to lose weight, but I know they're not going to, because the algorithm is going to force them almost subconsciously thinking, I want the validation. I have all these thousands, hundreds of thousands of people following me, watching my videos, writing comments, writing me in my DMs that they want to eat a donut off my ass and all these stupid, dirty, crazy things that people are thinking. And so they're motivated to keep going.
Where did that come from? Where did the ass come from?
They're not going to stop anytime soon. If people never watched them do this, they would stop. If people watched them lose weight and encourage them, they would probably continue to lose weight. And so that is how the mind works.
I guess we don't really need to hear the rest of his ads, but what did you think about that? What did you think about Coach Greg's reaction to fat girls eating? I thought it was a little intense, and there were a lot of unnecessary comments that I thought, wow, that didn't need to be in there, but whatever. What did you think of saying hello to Greg Doucette's nipple? Thanks so much for tuning in. My name is Emerald Hill. Please subscribe, give me a like, maybe a comment. That would be awesome. Thanks so much, and bye for now. No one can lift like Greg does, product plug like Greg does. No one has a nip slip on YouTube like Greg does. There's no man online half as grandly, indirectly the next Donald Trump. He's had his fair share of pink Stanleys, and they tell you whose scheme they'd prefer to die on. The pyramid one. Thanks so much. Bye for now.